tonight, I equally want to use this opportunity to wish you all a happy new year. We are hoping that 2024 is going to be an amazing year for we all Nigerians. We look forward to seeing more of God's mercies, not because our politicians are going to do one magic, no, but we are just believing God because we know that these people, they don't care for the people. So let's dive straight into what we have for tonight. It has to do with the speech that was delivered by the president. You know, there've been a lot of reaction. Not only that speech was pre-recorded, who knows when it was even recorded, and it has gone through so many editing and all that, but still, there are a lot of reactions, especially the lies that have been captured in that speech. I mean, the APC, we all know that is a party that is known for telling lies. When they tell you A in the morning, in the evening, they are coming to tell you a B. They are never steady with their words. And that was actually what was captured in that speech. So I'm going to allow you now just take a look at what Arise TV has got to say about the speech of the president. And we are going to be coming back to take a look at other headlines that we have here.
Detail, but the question people also ask is, it's not a policy speech, it's just a new year, feel-good speech and all of that. But I feel they missed some critical points. I also hit the nail on some critical points. And only time will tell if this resonates with a lot of people.
All right. Well, what time will tell, that is very clear. So this morning, is that the speech delivered this morning by the president is dated. It is too obvious that that speech was recorded before the president came to Lagos, because the speech is not contemporaneous enough. And that, I think, is in itself, a scandal. It shows gross indolence on the part of those people who manage the president. And I speak as a person who had gone through this process before. Now, you could see from that delivery that since the speech was recorded in Abuja, I imagine, that there have been developments in the country. A major development will be the killings on the plateau. That was conspicuously absent in that speech. I said, well, the president maybe did not need to go. They are having sent a very powerful delegation. But to they speak to Nigerians on New Year Day and not reflect his awareness and understanding of the killings on the plateau, and considering the fact that only yesterday 5 more persons were murdered in Boko's local government area, just shows and confirms how dated that speech is. And I put it down to the indolence of his managers, because wherever the president is, there is enough facility to update speeches, to change recordings. It's not as if it's a lengthy presentation. They could have updated the speech, do a fresh recording yesterday, and it will have been up to date. The other major omission is that on Saturday, the National Assembly of Nigeria passed the 2024 appropriation bill, although there are many problems with that, as analysts have pointed out. Specifically, Dr. Dele Shubowale saying that that budget is dead on arrival, and that the only indications that you could pick out of it as a professional economist is scarcity, uncertainty, and chaos, and that 2024 will be a more difficult year for Nigerians. But the president will have piggybacked on the details of what the Senate did and also addressed that, because that's also something very fresh. But there was no reference to that in that speech. Now, to the details. The president said we voted for him because he promised us renewed hope, and that he's working hard at it and is committed to delivering on that. And he said a number of things that are important to him. Food scarcity, to address food scarcity, to address electricity supply, to address the refineries. Would the refineries work? There's no certainty in that regard. And maybe that's the uncertainty that Dele Shubowale is talking about. Now he's talking about food supply. What is the guarantee that you can have food supply if there is still insecurity in the country? The president says in that speech, in fact, that security in the country has improved. Now, how do you say that to Nigerians just less than a week after people were being killed almost on a daily basis in over 58 communities in Plateau? How does that provide a justification for the claim that you make? He said electricity supply. At a time when power generation, power supply, power distribution in Nigeria is in the dark alley of 4,000 megawatts for over 200 million people. So how is that improvement in power supply? The president also talked about his commitment to attracting foreign investment, FDI, at a time within the same week that the National Bureau of Statistics announced to us that capital importation to the country has fallen, and that 27 states of the Federation attracted zero importation of capital. And at a time where we've been told that companies are leaving Nigeria, P&G has left, Jumia may follow, ShopRite is following, other companies like that are leaving Nigeria in droves. Is this contradiction not clear to the president and the drafters of his message on New Year Day? However, he admitted that there is a lot of hardship in the country as a result of foreign exchange crisis and the removal of fuel subsidy. But the economists argue that fuel subsidy, in fact, has not been removed. That fuel subsidy, in fact, is returning. And that if care is not taken in 2024, fuel subsidy will return in full force. Now, the president then puts the responsibility on all of us. He said in that piece that we are joint heirs of the Commonwealth, and we also have a responsibility. Yes, we the people have a responsibility, but what we keep saying is that government cannot keep telling us to make sacrifice, and government is not listening. The conspicuous consumption that was demonstrated by way of the president going to the mosque to go and pray on Friday in Lagos, and he had a convoy that looked like he was going to war. Nobody goes to the mosque to go and wage war. They go there to pray to God, to seek the face of God. I mean, I've been part of a presidential convoys at home and abroad when I served in government. The convoy that I saw on that Friday just to go to mosque, I think that was unprecedented. And Lagos being the major political base of the president, you ask the question, what is he afraid of? So when it comes to us on New Year Day, and it says we the people must make sacrifice because the country belongs to all of us, well, our leaders showing that this country belongs to all of us, and they themselves are ready to make the necessary sacrifice.
So guys, let's stop it at that point. Honestly, there have been a lot of reactions as regards to the president's speech. He just came up with so many things that he was like saying it as if they were realities on ground, telling us that the refineries are going to work, businesses, investors are going to come into the country, this and that. You've heard Dr. ABATI breaking it down for us. I mean, kudos to Dr. ABATI. You know, some people used to like say, oh, it's like he wants to join the APC, but this time he came on a neutral ground, as in picking out those lies, as in those things he feel that the president didn't say the truth about, you know. And before then, he even talks about this speech not being a fresh speech. Who knows when they even recorded it, that his managers would have at least tried to update it, but they didn't update it. And you could see that this speech is just filled up with so much lies, things that cannot even be actualized. And one keeps wondering, when are we going to get real government? I mean, real people governing Nigeria. When? You know, each time this president, I mean, the person of Tinubu, comes out to address Nigerians, it's all about lies. I mean, they never tell us facts. You will not hear them say they are going to do this and they want to stick to that. No, they will tell us they are going to do this. At the end of the day, you end up finding out that they were just painting words, just to put fancy words into the ears of Nigerians so that we embrace them. And, you know, people have been saying, oh, they grabbed power. They thought it would be easy for them to manage it. And now what is happening? But we all know, like I shared with you guys during the day, that this government knows that Nigerians did not vote for them. They know it, that we, the Nigerian people, voted massively for the Labour Party. And now it has hooked them in terms of managing the affairs of this country. There've been a lot of reactions, and we know that there is nothing, as in looking at even the coming year, you will get to know that this government does not even know what to do. As in, they don't know what to do. And economists, I mean, the kind of predictions for 2024, it's a bit scary. I mean, it's really scary looking at what people, the economists, are saying in terms of the outlook for our economy. I mean, we don't even have good managers. There are no policies that are, I think, giving hope to the Nigerian people that 2024 is going to be good. And you heard Dr. Abati naming out some companies who are already planning to leave Nigeria. These are foreign countries that came into the country, you know, to invest and also to have some Nigerians employed. But under this government, they are saying, oh, we are done with the Nigerian market. We can't manage ourselves again. Just the Naira rate, I mean, the value of the Naira keeps depreciating. And you want to wonder how these businesses are going to be surviving under this kind of leadership. Look at, he's saying that security has improved in Nigeria since he assumed office. We just want to know where has this security improved. We've not seen it at the height of all this scaling across the nation. He's telling us in his speech, oh, that security has improved, and that is why Dr. Patti is calling them out, that this speech was not updated. How could you say that security is better after seeing what has happened in places like the Plateau? You know, you go to Bauchi State, you go to Kaduna State, and other places across the Federation. We've seen these heights of, you know, killings and destroying lives of Nigerians, and then the poor management coming from our president. This is also what he was saying, that maybe Peter Obi and Atiku should join him, that elections are over. Elections are not yet over, because there is a recent topic now on whether Mahmoud should still hold that position of the election of the INEC chairman. Should he still be retained as an INEC chairman, seeing that Nigerians are doubting his credibility? Or should we just move on? That is the recent discussions. And Nigerians are of the opinion that he should be sacked, or he should be asked to resign or to step down. But do you think this current president will want to allow Mahmoud to step down? These are some of the things that Nigerians are struggling with. He also in that speech said that he's promising Nigerians that there will be stable electricity in 2024. We've not even seen any move, as in there are no structures on ground to see that, you know, we have electricity. But in his speech, this was captured. And one keeps wondering, when are they going to start telling us the truth? Anyway, comparing this current administration with the person of Peter Obi, you know, Nigerians have always been, have been applauding Peter Obi, saying that you can't compare these two leaders. They are just too different. You know, that Peter Obi has been going around. The other day, he was in at the IDP camp in Plateau State, you know, meeting with Nigerians who think they've been abandoned. And yesterday, he also went to the prison to meet with those who are there. And you could see him here again meeting with the disabled persons. That is Peter Obi, especially when it gets to this festive period. You know, he always tried to like meet with Nigerians and give them hope for a better tomorrow. But that is not what we are seeing with this president. That is not what we are seeing with the APC. That is not what we are seeing with the kind of politicians we have today. And that is why we keep wondering, when are we going to get out from where we are today? I know we all know how INEC, you know, how INEC brought us to where we are today. And the question remains, how are we going to move out of this place, especially as regards to INEC chairman retaining that position? People are like having this fear. Oh, let what happened in 2023 presidential election not happen in any of the elections. Don't forget that Edo election is coming up now. As in, there is also that panic. Would they want to favor the ruling party? Would they want to favor the PDP? or would they allow a fair game to be played in terms of the election, how it's going to be managed? So this is Mr. Peter Obi speaking. We must not leave Nigeria's politics to transactional politicians. I think Peter Obi is using this opportunity to urge Nigerians, especially women-in Nigerians who really want to see the country move forward, to join politics, join the Labour Party, where we believe Peter Obi is, and that's Ahmed. I mean, people who we feel have credibility, they have character, we can trust them at the moment, because what we have in the Nigerian political space are people without ideology. Today they are here and tomorrow they can just be bought over. We've seen somebody like Wike who said, oh, you can never leave the PDP that has malaria to go for the APC that has cancer. But today, where is he now? He's almost with the APC. And that is why we keep saying that we have politicians who do not even have ideology. And even if they even have ideology, they cannot stand with it. You know, they cannot. Nigerians are now aware that good governance and leadership are not yet in place. Yes, we are already seeing it, especially under this leadership, under this APC current government. We've seen that, oh, there are a lot to be done for Nigeria to get out of this mess. So this is still coming from Peter Obi celebrating his new year with special needs children in Anambra State, you know. Okay, I'll be bringing you guys that video of Tinubu's convoy, because he himself, he visited his own home state, let's say Lagos. We know he hails from Osun State, but he was in Lagos, where he is known to be the political head or political godfather and all that. But do you know what? While he was passing with his convoy, he was being bold because Nigerians were like, we are hungry. You need to see the length of this convoy. You will shout. And you heard him in his speech. It was captured, you know, when he was saying that Nigerians should come together. We are co-heads, as in we are co-workers in terms of moving Nigeria forward. We all should sacrifice. And that was why you saw Dr. ABATI asking, if they're asking us to sacrifice, what sacrifice are they themselves paying in terms of helping this country? Nigerians, see, let me tell you guys the truth. These people just grabbed power. They don't know what to do with it. They don't even know where to start from. They don't know where to begin and where to end. Nothing is working. And when you listen to that speech of the president, you can see how bleak the future of Nigerians are. 2024, we don't even have a direction. As in, that speech didn't come straight. It was not clear. You could not even pick as in one tangible thing that you will be sure that this government will be able to fulfill. You will just see that it's a mix up of what they've been telling us since they assumed office. They just like, you know, mix up what has always been there. And we just keep wondering, how are we going to survive this in the next 3+ years? Because they are yet to complete a year in office. We still have 3+ years. And don't forget that this government is even eyeing 2027. So Nigerians, how long are we going to be in this mess? When are we going to come out from this? How are we going to come up with an INEC chairman who do not even want to care if there are parties in Nigeria or not, and will be ready to just give Nigerians whosoever they voted for? When are we going to get to that level of having people with character heading electoral body like our own INEC? I don't know if you saw the video that have been trending on Twitter of somebody who is also an electoral staff, you know, from Congo. It's a woman. They had to like pull off her body, her clothes, everything. She was just, oh my God, you could see the level of disgrace, because the people of Congo, the youths, they are already tired of the kind of government they are having. They don't want anybody to come mess up with their election. This is a woman, and she wanted to change figures. According to what I saw on the video, people were saying that she wanted to change the result figures. And the youths bashed on her. I mean, the youths didn't give her any chance. You need to see, myself, just watching it, I was just feeling for her. I say, God, who knows how much this woman was given to, that she went to this extent? You know, she's even a woman, a mom, and all that. And her kids will be watching her clothes being pulled off and all that. You can imagine. So I think Africans are standing up now. The African youth, They are tired of these old politicians. And I want to tell you that Nigerians, we are great people. We are a great nation. We need people, I mean, leaders, real leaders to be our leaders. We don't want people that come in through the back door. You just want to get there. You want to just become a president and be remembered as an ex-president and all that, whether you know what is happening or not. Look at the speech. If you go to the United States, you see people like Trump, them when he was the president, he would just, by heart give his own speech. He doesn't need to go through. It's not as if written speeches are bad. No, but at least if they had even written this speech, maybe a day to the delivery of that speech, it would have made sense. At least they would have captured the reality on ground in Nigeria. But you could hear Dr. ABATI saying that he's not even sure as to when exactly that speech was captured, because you could see that it's really disconnected from the reality on ground. They did not address the security issues that even the international community have been lamenting about. It was not captured in the president's speech. You can imagine. Even he talked about the budget. One of the economists have said that the current budget is nothing, it's chaos, and there's another term that he used to describe it. We don't have a direction, Nigerians. We don't. And we can't afford to allow things like this to continue. That is why we keep calling on Nigerians. Don't say, oh, I'm not going to vote again. I'm tired. Whether there is Mahmoud in INEC or not, we will keep, voting until we get rid of politicians who do not care for the people. Let me allow you finish up. But before then, let me allow you to take a look at this clip. This was the moment the president of Nigeria, in the person of Tinubu, told Nigerians that, I know most of you did not vote for me, but in the address, the speech he gave today, he told Nigerians that you all voted for me massively. That's to tell you the contradiction in these politicians, especially those of them in the APC. They are known for their lies.
An inclusive promise. Tinubu promised an inclusive government, and he said that he's aware that Nigerians are feeling bad and disappointed at his emergence because many of them did not vote for him. But it is what it is.
I know many did not vote for me, and you are disappointed that your candidate is not where I stand now.
So that was after the election. He knew that Nigerians, most of you did not vote for me, and you are not happy that your candidate is not standing where he was standing. So let me allow you, let's listen to what he said today during his...
It was a year you, the gracious people of this blessed nation, entrusted your faith in me with a clear mandate to make our country better, to revamp our economy, restore our security within our borders, revitalize our floundering industrial sector, boost agricultural production, increase national productivity, and set our country on an irreversible path towards national progress that we and future generation will forever be proud of.
That presentation...
Sorry. So you could hear that he's saying that Nigerians entrusted the country into his hand because we voted for him. He believes that we voted massively. That clip was supposed to be longer than that, but I think I just captured a very small section of it. But what I'm trying to say is that this government even knows that Nigerians did not vote for them. I mean, the current APC-led government, they understand that because we needed a change. So let's finish up with the video from
that I find disturbing in the president's New Year message, and I hope they won't do it again, by paying attention to necessary details, is that it is full of, again, promises. 7 months after, it is promises. We will step up our plan. We will do this. We hope to do this. We hope to do that. I thought that the standard practice is the imitative declaration of achievements within 100 days. In that whole speech on New Year Day, 7 months after, I think it's quite disturbing that the president could not point to concrete achievements of what his administration has been able to do. The only thing he pointed out, is neither here nor there. He said we had a successful transition in 2023. Well, he can say that because he's the main beneficiary. I don't think that those who lost out in that process would be saying the same thing. And he says he will fight every obstacle in the way of business commitment. Okay, which obstacles is he going to fight, really? Is it the foreign exchange crisis? Is it the devaluation of the naira? Is it the lack of confidence and trust on the part of the Nigerian people? Is it the creeping pandemic of empty pockets that Nigerians are groaning under? The fact that they couldn't even have access ahead of the festive period to their money trapped in the banks. With banks in Nigeria now, I've never heard it, that banks will say they don't have money. But in Nigeria, this is the reality. Even the banks don't have money. Even the money that you have kept in the banks, they say they don't have it. So clearly, 2024 appears like it will be a very challenging year. I think we should leave the destination of promises upon promises. Nigerians want concrete action. And one missing element in that New Year message by the president is that there was no concrete policy element. We will do this. We will do this. This is what we have planned to do. Or New Year Day, this is the policy we have adopted to give us a sense of direction. We are still at the same point where we were 7 months ago. Promises, renewed hope. Well, hope is good, Christians will say, but concrete action, concrete measures, as Joe Ajero has argued, as Bishop Matthew Azan Kuka has argued, as Cardinal John Oyanekon, the Catholic Bishop Emeritus of Abuja, has argued, is what the Nigerian people need. And that's what they look forward to in 2024, Mr. President.
Well, for a first New Year.
So, guys, before I allow you to listen to what Ayo has got to say, you could just hear what Dr. Abati, this is the first time I'm agreeing with everything Dr. Abati is saying, and I must say very big kudos to him. You can imagine, I've never heard people going to the bank and they are being told that you can't withdraw your money. This one is not bank, give me your money. No, my own money deposited in your bank. Let me take it and solve 1 or 2 problems that are there. But they will tell you that they don't have money. We once watched a video here where a lady was saying she went for her 1 million naira and she was being told that she could only withdraw 5,000 naira. And she was so unhappy. She was even mentioning Peter Obi, that Peter Obi was the one that has made Nigerians not to take action. After the election, some Nigerians were ready to occupy the streets. She was like, why were we not allowed to hold, as in reject this government as early as possible? Now look at where we are, because we were told, let's go through the court process. And Peter Obi was thinking that it was the judiciary of in those days when he was the governor that we have today. No, things have changed. Things have changed. Peter Obi thought, oh, I went through the judiciary then and I got what I wanted. The same thing is going to happen. But from the look of things, you can just see the difference, the great departure of what we had in those days of Peter Obi as the governor of Anambra State and what we have currently in terms of judiciary. Is out there, is no longer a secret, that the judiciary is massively corrupt. If not for any other thing, we had the testimony of the retired judge who left the Supreme Court. He was there making it open that the corruption is all about who you know, who can speak for you. In you becoming a judge, it's no more a time when people were being selected on the basis of what they've got to offer. No, this one is, you are being selected on the basis of possibly who you know, who you can settle and all that. We've seen the current CJN. There was a time I showcased a tree of him in the Nigerian judiciary today. You could see his son, you see his nephew, you see his brother, and all the, these are outside, maybe his friends and other close associates, that he has positioned in our judicial system. These are closer people who are very close to him. So you find out that there is a very big departure from the real thing that we used to have in terms of the judiciary. And that is why we keep lamenting and like saying that, oh, INEC should really be pushed. People are now campaigning for, the Electoral Act to be a kind of retouched again. Let there be a kind of to review it and come up with some amendments that will address some of the loopholes that we had during the election. But Nigerians, don't we know how powerful these our politicians are? They have the money, they have the influence, they have the judiciary, they have the INEC, they have everything. So sometimes, no matter what the electoral law says, INEC can just decide on what to do, and the court to back it that INEC has the sole authority to decide the way they want to do it, even if they decide it, even if the decision was taken at a critical and dying moment, that they have that opportunity to like decide the way they want to do things. Honestly, that is the main challenge. And like Dr. ABATI have said, there are no policies on ground. There is no direction from the speech. Just like I told you guys, the speech is just like, it's so bleak. It's not clear. Nigerians don't even know what becomes of them in 2024. So we are just left at the mercies of God, not the way these politicians are going to lead us. So let me allow you finish that clip.
Yes, speech by Mr. President, unfortunately, was quite lightweight. And the reason I've said that this morning is because the mandate on which the president ran and which he's continued as a mantra in his administration is that of renewed hope. And more than ever in Nigeria currently, the people need hope. In fact, one of the reasons why people still wake up and move around is because there's a glimmer of hope that things will be better, and the trust is on the leaders to ensure that things actually are better. And the responsibility of a leader is to deal in hope, is to sell hope, even beyond having the mantra of renewed hope. And therefore you'd imagine or expect that the president, who has chanted a number of times the renewed hope initiative, the renewed hope agenda, would come with a trailer load of hope for the people of Nigeria who are in dire need of it currently. Unfortunately, the about 13 minutes you watched a few minutes ago didn't quite project that hope for Nigerians. In fact, the number of people would have expected, and maybe I would center on that, what would have liked to hear this morning on New Year's Day. Nigerians are feeling despondent. The president himself acknowledged that inflation is at over 28% currently in the country. There's the removal of fuel subsidy has put on a tough hardship on the people in the last few months. It is his first time to address the nation, the beginning of the year when people have left the old and there's renewed sense of, okay, this is a new year, it's time to get things right, perhaps things will be better. And so we expected to see that or hear that a bit more in his speech. The only thing he did in that speech was, yes, acknowledge the fact that people had faced hardship. He had to make necessary decisions, policy changes that he acknowledged had affected Nigerians. But what we wanted to hear from our president was what was going to be good for Nigerians in the year 2024. Aside just touching very lightly, I must say, in light of recent events, and like Dr. ABATI had mentioned, perhaps now we understand why this was so. On security matters, which is the first on his 8-point agenda, even the previous president, as criticized as he was with his reaction or perhaps disposition to addressing very difficult times in the nation, acknowledged at different times during his New Year speeches or about the deaths of those or people we had lost the previous year, an acknowledgement of people who didn't make it to the new year. And following the loss of lives in the last few months, one would have thought the president would have, in showing empathy, in showing leadership, has started on that note to acknowledge the fact that things, when it comes to security, while still a work in progress, would acknowledge the sacrifices of people who had to pay the ultimate price.
So, guys, the reality is that this government, I mean, these politicians, they are really a kind of detached from the reality. They don't even know what Nigerians are going through. Sometimes it's as if they have their own world. They are living in a different world from where the people are. Because you won't tell me that there is any human being who will see what is happening in Plateau State and other states. I mean, it's not only in Plateau, and you will address the nation, you will not capture it, especially when it has to do with loss of lives. Not even one person, not 100 persons. We've had more than 200 persons just in the Plateau alone. And recently, we started talking of Bauchi State also came up, and nobody even mentioned it in such a speech. We rather saw the convoy of the president while he went to the mosque to go and pray. You need to see the number of persons, you need to see the number of convoy that followed him, and whose money is being used to fuel those cars. Nigerian people's money. Nigerians who are sweating, paying through their nose, in terms of tax. They paid through their nose. You didn't give them light. You didn't give them good roads. You did not even reduce the tax percentage for them. And then they will suffer and go through all this hurdle and pay those taxes only for you to use it anyhow, because you don't understand what the people are really going through. Let's take a look at this video and we'll come back to talk more about it.
But while I was in Paris, Dr. ABATI, Ayo, Rufai, I got that video of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's convoy. Let's quickly play up that video. It got a lot of Nigerians talking. Let's play that video before we wrap up what's trending. Ayo.
It was an unnecessary display of, wastage of funds in terms of the number of cars to go and pray. What ought to have been solemn and an opportunity for the people to see you really connect to them. And we couldn't but hear the cry of the people saying that we are hungry. And I think that marks the first few months of the president's time in office.
So, guys, I'm really happy that the people could even air their view, as in they were saying, we are hungry. Look at him coming. Look at him coming. We are hungry. And they were saying it in Yoruba. It's good that they even use his own language to convey the message to him. You had this number of vehicles. You could see the young men running after the vehicles because they've got no job. When this president was asked why increase the number of ministries we have in Nigeria today, he said it's a means of employing the people. Nigerians, did you get all this? That is the creativity. The level of creativity in Tinubu. For him to create job opportunities for Nigerians, he had to create more ministries. When we've seen governments like in Argentina, we were talking the other day, how the newly elected president of Argentina, immediately he assumed office, he started reducing the number of ministries because he saw it as the only way people steal money, because these ministries, you know how much is allocated to them in the budgets every year. And at the end of the day, they will not be able to boast for any revenue that they generated. Some of them generate zero revenue for the country. And you just keep spending, wasting the little you have in the name of increasing more ministries instead of reducing the ones we have. he had to increase more because they think that it is the government that creates job opportunity. No, it's not the government. You just have to, the government only has to create enabling environment for businesses to strive. And you have small businesses. They are the ones to employ Nigerians. Those small businesses, they are the ones to make the economy viable. They are the ones to make Nigeria to become a productive economy. Not you as a president hiring people and you tell us that you are giving Nigerians job opportunity. So that is the height of the rascality in this government. And you can see the difference between Tinubu and Peter Obi when it comes to connecting with the people. Nigerians, you know, some people will come here, they will say, hey, it's tribe. We have outgrown that stage of talking about, you know, tribe and religion. We saw during the campaign, Peter Obi is that one candidate that kept, you know, a kind of connecting with Nigerians. He went to town hall meetings. He will always meet with Nigerian students, no matter the state, no matter the time. Sometimes he will say, let me go, even if I will speak to one person. It's not a matter of talking to thousands of persons. Let me go and speak to one or two persons. If I can change one or two persons' mentality, or at least talk sense to them, he said he will be satisfied. And each time he gets there, trust Nigerians, everybody wants to hear him speak. You see more people gathering to hear Peter Obi. Okay, look at how he's celebrating his Christmas. You know, he's equally in his home state, but look at where he went. These are people who feel they've been rejected by the society. Nobody cares about them and all that. But these are the kind of people Peter Obi goes to mingle with. And that tells you what leadership is all about. Not the people who are there in their convoy. This is the same president who had other governors come pay him homage in Lagos. And even after that homage, you know, celebration, he did not find it needful to at least use his presidential jet. It's not as if he's going to be the one to pilot it. He only had to just sit down there and he'll be taken to Plateau State, at least to go and meet these people who were just, you know, who lost their beloved one. We saw a cleric who came out to say, a cleric in one of the churches, that he lost 20 members from his church. Just a cleric, you know, just like you go into one church and they tell you that they lost 20 persons. It's not as if they were fighting. It's not as if there was any problem, but somebody just, you know, ambushed them or just came into their community and decided to take away their lives. But look at what Peter Obi is doing. This is what leadership is all about: connecting with the people, meeting with the people. We saw during his last birthday, he told Nigerians, please don't buy anything from me. Use whatever you use. Go and meet with those who need your help in one way or the other. No matter how small whatever you have is, some people are in dire need of it. Go and, you know, meet with them, share with them whatever you have, and they will appreciate. And we saw what Nigerians did. I mean, we saw some of them who even cooked and went to share with prisoners. There was this truck of prisoners that were passing by and they stopped. You need to see how they were, as in grabbing the food as if they've not eaten for a very long time. That is what leadership is all about. Don't buy me anything, rather go and affect the lives of others positively. That is Peter Obi. And this is coming from the Nigerian army. Attacks. It's time for Nigerians to carry, okay, higher grades of arms. This is a kind of suggestion being given to the military to allow Nigerians to a kind of defend themselves, because we've seen that our security agents cannot really defend us. They've come out to give excuses as to why they've not really combed that area in Plateau State where they think these bandits are coming from. They said the terrain is rough for them to go and, like, you know, dislodge these people. Your government's legitimacy hangs on stopping killings across Nigeria, Bishop Kuka tells President Tinubu. Yes, we just hope that these killings will stop. We need to see that political will. I don't know what kind of benefit politicians gain, because we've seen all these things happen, you know, for a very long time and nobody has been able to tackle it. Plateau Massacre, politicians sponsoring armed headsmen with AK-47, Edwin Clegg tells Tinubu. We don't know, myself, I don't know how factual this is, but if this should be traced to be true, then it calls for worry if we have politicians who, I don't know, what are they going to be gaining when people's lives are taken away from them? What's the gain there? It's not a political position. I don't know. Is there any benefit? I doubt. So I just hope that is not near being true, honestly. Tinubu raises judiciary budget from 165 billion to Nigerians. Honestly, the judiciary has always been on the benefiting side since this government assumed office. And Nigerians have always said, it's time for payment for job well done. We've seen them, they've talked about their salaries should be increased, they should be giving this accommodation, all that, all this. And now you can see their budget is being increased. This like almost double, this like doubling their budgets, meaning that money will quara for helping us to become, for helping me become the president. Yes, that's one of the ways they can use in appreciating them. The Bible does not forbid self-defense. Rise up and fight back. Honestly, the level of destruction of lives that happened, so many Christians are like saying that, no, they cannot continue that way. To just allow these people come in at their convenient time, do whatever they want to do with their lives, destroy it to whatever level, and they will still go away without being arrested. Up to today, we've not seen even one person being paraded for everything that happened in Plateau State. It's not as if it was just in one community, neither was it in two communities, in several communities, and it didn't just take place in one day. They still came back again and issued like a letter that we are coming again in another community. And that same day they went, they succeeded. So Nigerians, what are we saying? There are a lot to this insecurity. Allowing Nigerians to carry arms, defend themselves against bandit killers. Okay, it's the same thing. They are telling them to allow Nigerians to carry arms and also to defend themselves. Terrorists turning security agents into objects of mockery. Yes, because at the end of the day, the security agents will tell us that they are handicapped. They can't go to where these guys are. The terrain is rough. Is that, a terrain that can be well managed by bandits cannot be managed by security agents. I don't know where all is it Tocado they call it or what? All those equipments that were bought by under the Buhari's regime from the United States, what are they using it for? What are they keeping it for? They could not invade the Zambiza forest. They cannot also dislodge the bandits. Every time we hear excuses, Zambiza forest is just like a forest lying there and then harboring these bad guys. And up to today, nobody has got the guts to go there and to clear up that place so as to disperse all these bad people. Some of them are not even Nigerians. They come in from nowhere, and with the help of those in Nigeria, they'll be able to carry out their evil plans, and then nobody will even arrest them, not to talk of prosecuting them. It is time for Nigerians to carry, okay, it's the same thing, more sophisticated weapons. Middle Belt Forum counters Chief of Army Staff Lagbaja. So that is it, Nigerians. That is it. You can see where we are going as a country. And the worst aspect of all this is that our president, Tinubu, because Supreme Court has declared him president, that you won't say he's not, he is, but he does not have any clue on what to do. And he boasted and told us that he has a very strong team, which he called teamship. Till today, we've not seen anything coming from that team. That is just it. He was relying mostly on his team. And today, the team has got nothing to offer us. And you could see them saying that even the speech he gave today was just empty. He didn't carry any weight. He didn't have any message. Didn't have any direction for Nigerians. And that is why we keep saying that INEC is to be blamed for everything Nigerians are going through today. If INEC had carried out a fair and credible election, I don't think we would have been where we are today. Like that Senator Abaribe was saying that it is the human factor that is the problem when it comes to election. Remove the human factor, where even the INEC chairman will not have any influence, will not be able to influence results. I mean, nobody. It will just, everything will be electronically done. That is what he's canvassing for. We should have an election system that any human factor will not have a place in, as in everything will just be electronically carried out. And then at the end of the day, we have the results. That is the only way we'll be able to come up with, credible elections. We just look forward to seeing the senators who we know we have majority from the APC. Do you think they will have that political will to allow these changes to come in? We saw during the time of Buhari, this bill was taken to Buhari initially. He said he was not going to sign it. They left it until Buhari won his second term before he was able to endorse it. Now we have Tinubu, who is equally eyeing 2027 presidential election. Do you think, even if we should come up with, reviews on how to have our electoral bill or electoral law updated, do you think he's going to append his signature to it? Do you think he's going to approve it because he knows it's going to haunt him in terms of him coming back again for the second time? So we have this APC government that puts the party and their personal interests above the interests of Nigerians. And that is why we keep saying, Nigerian youths who are still whining and dining with the APC or the PDP, you people are making a very huge mistake. Let's all come together, at least under this umbrella of the obedient family, to ensure we support people who've got something to offer, who have character, and who really want to see Nigeria move forward. Let's ensure we come together, we vote for these people. Even when they err, we will boldly tell them we can't bring them back again second term. So that is just it. All we want is a better Nigeria, and we are sure that a new Nigeria will be better. So guys, let's end it at this point. I really want to appreciate you all for joining today's live session, and we hope that Nigeria will be better. As it stands now, things are not well. I mean, all is not well in the country, but we just look forward to a better Nigeria. So guys, thank you very much for your presence. I want to wish you all a happy new year. Please take your time, enjoy. Don't stress yourself. Don't overstress yourself, because that may lead to more health complications. Just keep being happy. Nigerians have been known for, suffering and smiling. It has been a tag on us, and that has also helped us. But don't forget that there is a kind of new data saying that more people are depressed, more people with mental health. I mean, the number that has doubled in terms of people who have mental health today. Just the stress alone in the country can make people, to go into all kinds of health situations. So I urge you all to please remain happy. No matter what you are going through, just be happy. Happiness can help us to overcome all this. So I wish you all a happy new year. Please take time to enjoy yourself and your family. You all should have a very nice time together. Let's meet again tomorrow. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to more people. And let's meet again tomorrow. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.